got yet another brake job video I should say. Today is going to be on my stepson's 99 Pontiac Sunfire. Definitely need some front brakes. I may check the rear, so I've got the car on jack stands, front and rear. The first thing you want to do obviously is jack up the car, whatever end you're doing, and please use a set of jack stands. It doesn't hurt. It takes 2 seconds. So we're going to remove the front wheels and then we'll go from there. Okay, we've got the wheels off now, just the fronts. And the pads, how are you going to be able to see this? The pads are pretty worn. Let me zoom down a bit. They're not so bad on this side, it's the inside. The rotors, although they're not warped, these are original rotors. They've been on the car since new. Actually, I think they've been replaced once, but the car does have 126,000 miles on it. So, and we've got the same thing on this side. Get in for a little closer look here. That side's not too bad, it's the inside. And you can see these rotors, although not warped, they're pretty much shot. So we're going to put another set of those on as well. Haven't got them yet because I wanted to make sure the car did need brakes. The first step, just like within the Grand Am video, is you want to take the caliper off, and you just use a hex wrench. Hex socket, and the ends are right, not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, right there. There's one, there's another one down there. So you want to loosen those up, and go ahead and do that. I'll loosen these up, we'll get the caliper off, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, once you pull the caliper off, you want to set it up here or hang it by a bungee. I've got it sitting on a ledge here, pretty secure. And then you can just pop the pads out. This one, as you can see, is gone. And I've actually showed my stepson how to change brakes, but and the signs of when they're going bad, but apparently he didn't pay attention. Look at that inside, there's nothing left on it. Outside, let's see here, set the camera down. You can see the outside's pretty much gone too, but nothing, this has nothing on it, literally. So we definitely need new pads. Now we're going to take off the rotor. Okay, now we're going to take off the rotor. Before you do that, you definitely want to secure your caliper with a bungee, because you're going to probably, more than likely, if you're like me, you're going to have to whack the crap out of this thing. And again, I'm replacing these, so not a big deal. You can see all the sludge. So once you've tapped it on the back a few times, typically, if you haven't changed them in probably 100,000 miles like this car, it's going to take about 100 whacks. So once you get that loose, you pull it off. Here it is. So now we've got the rotor off. As you can see, this thing is chewed up. So we definitely need a new one of those. Also, a bit of penetrating fluid helps as well. I use PB Blaster. So, we've got that, we've got the caliper up there. I'm going to go get some new rotors, new shoes, and then we'll continue with the installation. Okay, here's the new rotor. See, there's the old one, pretty bad shape. O'Reilly's, pretty cheap prices, I recommend them. Anyway, next thing to do is clean the new rotor off. Clean it off with some carb cleaner, brake cleaner, get any of the grease off of it. Spray it on, just wipe it off. I've already done that. So the next step is actually to install the rotor, which, believe it or not, is pretty easy. Now you've got your rotor installed. That's all there is to it. Next we'll work on the brakes. Show you how to start and go from there. Okay, once you've popped the pads off, what you want to do is you can see this cylinder is pushed out because the brake pads were worn down. Get one of your old brake pads, in this case a hunk of metal. You want to get a C-clamp. Open up the C-clamp enough so you can fit your brake pad in there. I've got a faulty C-clamp here. Use the old brake pad as a brace, basically, to push down that caliper, or that piston, I should say. So tighten it down, wait for the fluid to go through, tighten it down a little bit more. You don't want to just tighten it all the way down in one swoop. You gotta wait for the oil to actually go back up in the line, or the brake fluid, I should say. You can see that's retracting. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if you have a full master cylinder, you don't want to have it all the way full, because this will push it out of the actual master cylinder. Okay. You can see, piston is all the way in. Also, you'll want to remove your pins, and you'll want to apply some grease to these. And we'll show you that. The grease. Comes in these little packets, and you just want to put a decent amount on there, light coating actually. Not too little, not too much. We'll go ahead and lube these up, and we'll go to the next step.